or alias breathing statue, and welcome to the video. So this is a step-by-step guide to use Intel audio plugins on ARM-based computers. So for example, if you bought a new ARM-based computer which some plugins lack support for, you might want to see this video because it teaches you how to use Intel like 32-bit and 64-bit audio plugins on ARM processor computers. If you're interested in producing electronic music and love to listen to it as well, check out my artist profile Breathing Statue here at YouTube. It's got a lot of content that is highly electronic and danceable as well. So let's get to the plugins then. While some plugins still lack the ARM support, to be able to overcome this problem that you don't get the plugin working on your ARM device, there are 3 different solutions. So, the plugin itself works in the ARM device, but its installer doesn't generate all the necessary files so that you could use the VST plugin or a standalone program in your device. So many plugins don't install correctly on ARM devices, so you have to install them either on virtual machine, which I'm going to explain you later how to make the virtual machine, or you can install it on another computer that is not ARM, and then just move the files to your new computer and open the VST then. So one example is the synthesizer V that doesn't install correctly, but it's also that it doesn't work in Ableton, but it works as a standalone program, so you would have to save the in order to get the sound bounced, the audio file from the synthesizer V, you have to save the project file and then open it in standalone synthesizer V process and then bounce the file from there and then add it in Ableton. So this complicates things a little bit, but anyway, this base XXL is one of the examples that don't install correctly, but you can move the files to your computer and activate it normally. So the B solution, when the plugin itself installs, but it cannot be opened in the ARM processor. So one of the plugins, such as Native Instruments Massive X, works via a host plugin such as Blue Cat's Patchwork. So I found out that this option works especially for Massive X, but you can test the Patchwork demo version for any plugin on ARM device if it works or not, because the demo is free to test, but I bought it for myself, and here I'm gonna show you how the Patchwork. In order for the macros to show correctly, you cannot control them now via the Patchwork's Massive X program. You control them via the parameters in Ableton. So my screen, my video is now a little bit on in front of the, and then I set load all params from the Patchwork. So now the macros still don't have names correctly, so I group the Patchwork synth, I make it as a group, and then I map the macros as the macro controllers. So I map them, and then I open the synth and check the names of the macros so I can rename the macros. So now the macro knobs don't show because my so the third option the third solution, how you can get the plugin to work or what obstacle you will face, is when the plugin requires iLok license manager in order to work. So at this point when I'm making this video, the iLok license manager is going to be supporting ARM devices, but at this point it's still not supporting it yet. So when I'm constantly making new demos and master tapes as a music producer, I require all my plugins to work in order to make my masterpieces. For example, the streaky audio mixing and mastering plugins won't work without iLok. So my solution to this problem is that you must install the plugin to an emulated virtual machine that is running a 32-bit/64-bit Windows 10 or soon only Windows 11 version, and then you can send the plugin to the host studio software via Audio Gridder, which is free to use. So, since all the other things I talk about are pretty basic stuff, next I'm going to show you how to create the virtual machine and other stuff in order for the Intel plugins to finally work on your end. Before you begin, make sure you have QEMU installed on your Windows, and make sure that you have the ARM version, since the installer for ARM based computers, because otherwise this won't work, the emulation will fail. So this is the QEMU folder. These are the files. There are lots of different emulators, and as you can see here, I have the Windows disk image file here. It was Windows 10. I have already installed it. And then you need to have virt.io drivers disk image also, ISO file, because when you use virt.io in the install process, you will get a faster hard disk because it's better tech from Fedora people. Then you need to have OpenVPN installed on your computer. So it's pretty basic stuff. You can just download the software from their website, OpenVPN. And then you need to have the Audio Gridder server and your favorite plugins, of course. So first, you go to PowerShell, and basically what you do is you move to the folder of the QEMU, and what you do then is that you create a virtual disk image. Or wait, no. This one is for you to create the disk image. Virtual image. Now it's done. So it appeared in the folder, in the QEMU folder, it's here. So then I will create I'll start installing the system. Here we go. Here we go. So I can put this in the background, and then I just turn the feed like this. So this will take a while to boot into the Windows setup with this virt.io drivers ready. So I will show you the command. So it's this line. So I create the virtual image. Now it's done. So it appeared in the folder, in the Chemo folder, it's here. So then images cow2, I don't know if it should be image file instead, but anyway, this is a command line that we would use. So basically, yeah, it's emulating the 64-bit Intel processor. Then it's got RAM, RAM memory like 4 gigabits. It's using CPU max because it cannot use CPU host, like it cannot use your host computer's powers actually. Then I have 4 cores, and this command I'm not sure, but it's making it more fast. Then the drive file to get the virtual image of your hard drive, and then you have the installer disk image, which I named as Windows. It's Windows 10 in my case, but you could use Windows 11 already if you want. And then you have the drive file virt.io, which from which you can install the hard drive special hard drive like stuff, drivers. And then you have the display driver, USB, if you need USB, and internet boot menu is on, and the name of the emulation. I will create I'll start installing the system. Here we go. Here we go. So I can put this in the background, and then I just show the feed like this. Okay, so activate Windows. I don't have a product key. I don't have it. I don't want it. I don't need it. It's not some piracy thing, but we are installing Windows 10 Home. For virtual machine, this way is sufficient. We don't need any activation keys really for these two. So now, where do you want to install Windows? It doesn't show you anything. Get a storage driver, click load driver. Load driver. Okay. Now we're getting the virt.io. So in my case, it's this AMD 64 Windows 10 viastore.inf. But you would choose whatever you need in order for it to work. If you are installing Windows 11, then you would install this version. So now I'm clicking next. And anyway, we get the disk here, and then we just click next and so on. I'm gonna cut this thing now because you know how to install Windows, right? It's just like clicking next and OK and waiting for it to install and so on. when you open the actual system for the very first time, and when you ever like so you need to be at the folder already. I am at QEMU folder, and then this is the command. So this is the command to use the emulation for 3264-bit Intel processor, and this is the RAM, CPU max, cores, CPU cores, acceleration, machine type, PC, drive, file. Is this one the same as the previous one I show you? Device virus EO. This is the drive now that's been installed, and the display driver is unfortunately just STD, because we cannot get any kind of superior display driver on our ARM emulation to Intel machine. Unfortunately, at the time when I'm making this video, it doesn't work any kind of better display driver. So then USB enabled, then we have RTC based local time, so I get the right time. Device, internet. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Yeah, so I was getting ahead of these things. I'm gonna show you this later. So now that you have the operation virtual machine installed, you need to install the OpenVPN on your host machine, on the actual machine. And when you install it, you get like this kind of stuff in the network connections in control panel. Network and internet network connections, you get the OpenVPN tap network. So it's called Tab Windows Adapter, and I've named it as Tab 0 because it's easy to use in the commands afterwards. If it's just Tab 0 with no spaces in the name and so on. So on the host, give this static IP to the protocol IP version 4. 192.168.56.1 and subnet mask 255.255.255 and 0. And on the virtual machine, which I'm gonna now open, use this command. So open virtual machine like this. You open the emulation, RAM, CPU, cores, acceleration, machine type, driver, which is the device is the Virge IO now, and display driver, USB device, this local time, so you can get the right time in the machine because it's not updating automatically as it's supposed to be in the virtual machine. And then the internet, this is like this: netdev tap comma ID equals to N1, comma if name equals to tab 0, comma script equals to no, comma downscript equals to no. So device is like this. And then you get the OpenVPN on the working on the virtual machine as well. And then I have now enabled audio. I want to be sure that my audio works so that the audio transfers in from the plugin to the computer. I'm not sure if it's needed or not, but I want to have sound anyway. And boot C Windows name, the name of the emulation. You can name it anything. I can name it as YouTubers Test VM. So now I'm opening it. Zoom to fit, and right now I'm ready to go there, and OpenVPN is on, and the audio reader server is on in the virtual machine OpenVPN that I installed. So basically IP version 4 protocol. Let's see. I set it in the host computer. It was 192.168.59. I don't know if it was 1 or what was it. So basically now the IP address is 101 in the end, and the default gateway is this one, which is the IP of the host. And then the network is working, because this is done, by the way, because the virtual machine is not connecting to the internet as we want it to be in order to share the internet between the virtual machine and the host computer. So we need to create a pathway for the internet to work. Okay, so now here I have this settings. I just put it so that it doesn't capture screen. It's disabled because I don't want the plugin to be streamed, visually streamed, because I think the CPU is so horrifically used in this virtual machine so that it doesn't have the power to do that. And sandbox mode is disabled. So now I open the Ableton Live. So as you can see here, the connection is not there yet, but it will soon be. The server is added. The correct server is added. Now it's added. It's the desktop page. So now just open the audio reader plugin in your Ableton Live session, and then you can start using those plugins that you have installed on your virtual machine. So in my case, I'm now showing you how I open the streaky color box here. So let's open it. VST3, effect, dynamics, color box, stereo. So as you can see here, it's going to start loading it. You can see the loading mouse icon. Just here it is, and you can start choosing your presets and using it. So you use it via the virtual manager. So basically there are some automation possibilities in the audio grider, but in these cases you usually just use some kind of preset or some kind of setting that is stable, that you don't change between the process. So it's pretty easy then. The latency don't matter. It's just altering the sound. It's like a mixing EQ. So as Streaky says, you get the thick and fuller sound. So it's really good now. Low-end Mac here. So that's that. And here you have the color box and you can start using it. So thank you for your time. Really wrapping this thing up now. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. And basically what I did, I asked for help in this case for the emulation from ChatGPT, from the not free version but the paid version. So I'm a vibe coder, yes, I admit it. So I get my commands from there. So if you need help with the QEMU codes, you can ask from the community, but you can ask from ChatGPT as well because it knows the answer. So whatever you decide, it's not wrong, it's not right, it's something between. But this method helps you to continue as a producer even if you have a modern device and you just need to get things done fast and quickly without waiting for the software updates to come in place. So that's that. And thank you for your time. I'm still dubbing this and shutting down the virtual manager right here because I don't need it anymore in this show. And it was interesting process to get this working, but now I'm gonna continue mixing and mastering really nicely and easily. And the only thing is that the virtual machine is a little bit slow, the interface is a little bit slow, so it takes a little bit more time than usually. But in my case, it's usually just the end game device that I need for the emulator, like some EQ stuff that is pre-EQ or something like that. So bye-bye. From the sky.